I want to do an event around Donald Nielsen because you have hundreds of books on serial murders. It's a kind of new fashionable thing. And apparently Donald Nielsen, you know, he murdered 14 of his boyfriends or something. There were 30 psychiatrists gathering around and they said, "Tell me, Donald, why did you do it?" And he said, "You tell me." And I think that is a kind of very historic remark.
Right.
Yeah. Well, my father was an army officer and he was stationed in Quetta, and he probably spent 1% of his life in military duties, 3% playing polo, and 95% reading books. And I inherited a passion for books. So it's a passion for books going into a kind of a vision of what you can do with this billions and billions of things which are being thrown away, given to charity shops. That was what my vision was about. The major intellectual dynamic of Western civilization, i.e. the second-hand book, should be put behind its major industry, which is tourism. We've got a customer, for example, who's collected 14,000 books on anesthetics. When he comes to Hay, his missing list is about 8 books. So he spends £5 on books and £500 on bed and breakfast. I believe that it's possible, by linking them to international tourism, to make the second-hand book more valuable than the new. That is the lesson of Hay with computers and cooperation. Certainly electronically, a book town can give a better service than a national, a university, or a public library. And, you know, the book was invented 500 years ago to improve on what we saw and what we heard. Now, 500 years later, we are seeing and hearing vast quantities of information from WikiLeaks, Kindle, and improved mobile phones, computers, etc. So there's a greater need for a book than there ever was before. Very, very few people would work manually clearing books. So we brought 100 containers or something, 1,000 tons, out of this gigantic skyscraper that was a bookshop in New York. We also were competitive with Sotheby's and Christie's because we bought the largest castle library in Belgium. That led to our twinning with Redu. And then also the largest castle in Denmark. All things at Sotheby's and Christie's, because it was a question of moving 10 or 20 tons of books, wouldn't handle.